Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Recently on Black Friday I picked up a new Samsung monitor. It does have a long model number name but I can't really remember it, so I'll put it down in the description. But it's an Ultra WQHD monitor and it's 21:9 aspect ratio and the resolution is 3440 by 1440 I believe. So I'm quite excited to check it out because I've wanted an ultra wide monitor for quite a long time and this one was quite a good deal. It was £280 on Black Friday. So yeah, let's just get this unboxed. So this is the power supply it comes with. Luckily it's not too bulky because I've seen some monitors of this size and resolution usually do come with massive power supplies, but this is pretty slim. It's not too much bigger than a normal laptop power supply, so that's nice. And then this is the stand. So obviously it's all wrapped up at the moment. So let's get that opened. So yep, this is the stand. It does feel a bit plasticky, but it looks fine. It does gather fingerprints, but I'm sure it will be pretty easy to clean off. This is the plug adapter, so it's the EU plug by default, but you can just stick the UK adapter on, so that's fine, and doesn't add too much bulk. It's also got a few other bits and bobs. So that's the manual, and you've got a HDMI cable with it as well, which is nice. I would have liked to see DisplayPort with it, because with DisplayPort you can use all the features. HDMI I don't think supports FreeSync on this monitor. So yeah, it'd have been nice if they had given a DisplayPort cable with it, but HDMI is not bad, I guess. So this is just another part to the stand. I guess you screw this onto the monitor and then you screw that onto the stand. Okay, now we're looking at the back of the monitor, so you can see the Samsung logo, the bit that the stand attaches to, and then you've got your sort of recessed ports bit. A little bit disappointed that the ports don't face outwards, makes it a bit of hassle to plug stuff in. But I guess yeah, you can just plug it once and leave the cables out, which is probably what I'll do. So let's zoom in a bit. So you can see you've got two HDMI ports and one DisplayPort, and there's also a audio output. So the monitor itself doesn't have speakers, but you can still have your audio go through DisplayPort or HDMI and then use the 3.5mm jack to put out to any external speakers you want. So I'm just going to put the monitor together now. It's a pretty straightforward process. Okay, so this is the monitor put together. It's definitely a sight to behold. It's a massive monitor, it's 34 inches, and like I said 3440 by 1440. The bezels are a bit chunky by modern day standard, but when you consider you've basically got the real estate of two monitors side by side and no bezel in the middle, it's not too bad having them just around the edge. And it does still look pretty nice. Everything looks pretty high quality. There's a little bit of wobble on the stand, which is not fantastic, but I think it'll be fine once I put it on the desk. And this is my old setup. So I had two Dell Ultra Sharp monitors, but because of the size of my desk, I could only fit one in landscape and then this one in portrait. So it's going to be nice to have just one big landscape monitor. So I'm just going to load up Football Manager here because this is something I think I can quite easily show the difference in real estate you'll get. So you can see already, so this is a 1080p monitor, it's 24 inches. You can get quite a lot of information on here by default, but obviously the new ultra wide one will be able to fit so much more. Let me just load a game. So this is pretty standard how I have my layout. You've got the game on the left and sort of a few extra bits on the right which give you some information on what's going on in the game. I'm not going to explain that, but you'll see the difference, I guess. Well, hopefully we'll see the difference when I plug the new monitor in. Okay, and something else that the monitor is going to be quite good for is video editing. So what you're looking at now is the Final Cut Pro session that I've got going for the bits of the video I'd already recorded. So basically the unboxing. And you can see that the timeline already takes up the full amount of width on the screen, and it's quite a small preview section to see the actual clip. So because I do have dual monitors plugged in at the moment, I can change the view a bit. So you can have the sort of preview screen off on the second monitor, which I'll just set up now. So yeah, you can have, actually I've got it the wrong way around. That's the preview screen on the main monitor, but that's one way you can do it. So you've got the timeline there and the footage on the right, but there's still a lot of wasted space having the monitor in portrait that way. So the other way, which is what I used to use actually most, was having the preview screen on the right and then the timeline and like the extra clips on the left monitor. So let's just get that going. So this is a bit better because you get a bigger preview screen. But again, if you look at the portrait monitor, there's a lot of space wasted above and below. And I couldn't figure out how to get other apps to fill that space. Because no matter what I did, Final Cut Pro always took that as like a full screen window. So yeah, it's a lot of wasted space really. So that's one thing that I'm hoping that just having the one massive monitor will take care of. Okay, so here we go with the ultra wide on my desk. I'm just going to boot up into macOS. So you can see already that I'm going to need to change some settings in Clover to get my bootloader to take up the whole screen. But that's a minor problem. I've sped it up a bit because I guess you don't really want to watch my PC boot. But yep, we're almost into macOS. Straight away you can see that the desktop looks pretty good. There's a hell of a lot of real estate, so that's good. So yeah, let's get a few things loaded and then we can see the difference between the two setups. One thing I'll try first, I just want to see what refresh rates are available. So you can see that the display is picked up 3440 by 1440. Let's go in the preferences. Okay, and that's good. So we can go to 75 Hz out of the box, which is pretty nice. Let's see if it works. And yep, that's fine. It's all working fine. And yeah, it looks pretty smooth. It's full resolution and it's 75 Hz, and that's on over HDMI 2.0 rather than DisplayPort. So yeah, I don't believe that FreeSync works over HDMI on this monitor, but you know, 75 Hz still over HDMI is pretty nice. And it's nice to get a bit of extra smoothness. So let's load up Final Cut. I mean, you can see already the massive difference. So the full timeline takes up about half the screen as opposed to going over the screen in the last set. And the preview window is also a lot bigger without having to change any settings at all. So that's pretty great. And yeah, scrubbing's still pretty smooth. So the PC that I'm using handles it pretty fine. So that's nice. Okay, so let's load some other stuff up. Let's just get Firefox open and see what browsing the web's like. So I'm going to open TweetDeck, and that's pretty nice. I can see all my columns in TweetDeck with plenty of space to add even extra columns. I couldn't do that on the old monitors. I'd need to scroll across to see them all. So that's pretty good. Let's try Google Sheets as well. So you can see that you can go to column Z already, and you can even go further if you added more. So that's pretty nice if you use spreadsheets a lot. So you can, well, I guess you can't really see because I've recorded the video at 25 frames per second, but I can tell you already that 75 Hz is a noticeable difference from 60 Hz just when you're scrolling around the iOS and stuff. It's pretty nice. So yeah, that's a pretty nice upgrade as well as the resolution. So I'm just going to get Football Manager open again. And you can see already that there's just so much more space. Look how many extra columns of statistics I can get on there. That's pretty great. Most people maybe won't care about that, but if you're a big Football Manager player, that's definitely a big positive for me. Start a game and let's see how that looks. So again, you can just see straight away just what the extra width does. And yeah, you've got a much bigger view of the game while still having, you know, the in-game stats docked on the side. Yeah, you can basically see the entire pitch without anything being blocked, so that's pretty nice. Yep, definitely a worthwhile upgrade for me so far. Nowadays, a lot of people on YouTube have switched away from filming in 16:9 and they've gone up to stuff like 17, 18:9 to match modern smartphones. So let's have a quick look at some of the videos. You still got black bars, but you can watch it basically in their native aspect ratio. So that's pretty nice. You don't have any bars on. You don't have any black bars on the top or bottom. So if I snap this window to the right hand side, we can see how much real estate we get on the other side. You can see the video in a pretty massive window. And let's just get another tab open. And you can see like the BBC Sport website, that's in basically full view, not missing out on anything, and they're both side by side. You could probably even squeeze a third window in the middle by just making these ones a little bit smaller, and you still have a pretty good experience. So again, so far, not missing out on only having the one monitor because of the extra width and the extra resolution. It's actually working out really well. So I'm just going to boot into Windows quickly, and we'll have a quick look at Gears of War, because that's the only real sort of proper gaming title that I've got on my PC. So let's have a quick look at how that looks on an ultra-wide monitor. So if you go into the settings on the game, it does support the field of view change. So you can see in the resolution, the window resolution scale, that is 3440 by 1440, so it's using the full width of the monitor. The frame rates are still unlocked, so that's good. So I've got it to show the frames. I've got it to show the FPS, so we'll see if we can hit the 75 FPS. And I'm going to up the field of view to the maximum. Okay, so we're into the game now. I've not played for a while, so I'm going to be terrible, but it's fine. You can see that it's using the full width of the monitor. I'm hitting the 75 frames per second, so that's nice. So everything looks pretty smooth and it looks pretty crisp. And yeah, the ultra wide field of view is pretty good. You can see a lot more of the map than you would on a normal monitor. I guess I should have shown that before, but I kind of forgot that I had it anyway. But yeah, it's a pretty good experience. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm not sure how many games support ultra-wide monitors, but I think it's getting more common nowadays, so that's pretty nice. But yeah. So back on macOS now, just showing again really what you can do with all this real estate. So I've got Final Cut Pro on the left and an internet browser on the right, and I can still see the majority of what I need to see. So yeah, I'm pretty pleased with the monitor overall. If you've got any questions about it, let me know in the comments. Otherwise, yeah, I'll leave links to where to buy it as well. And yeah, check it out. And yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.